Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today I wanted to do some testing because I've been thinking about making a line of ships from T0 to T6 that focuses on like Caldari based shield ships and is focusing on missiles. So I've been making a series that has been focusing a lot on like gunnery based ships like the Zealot, Punisher, Retribution. I'm thinking of doing one that is a bit different, using instead of armor, shields, and then instead of using beams, we're using missiles. One step in the process is to find a ship for T4, and I think that I really like the Onyx in terms of T4 Darks for cheap, because it's like a pretty cheap ship, and for what it can do and for what it can earn, is really great in that situation. A good T6 ship that's using missiles is a Cerberus. Cerberuses are very good in T6 because you can use high-grade Hydras with them, and they'll perform really well. The reason that it's hard to use a Cerberus for T4s, or at least for me, because if I want to use a T4 ship, I prefer somebody on the cheap side, and then it's hard to do that with a Cerberus just due to the way fitting works, just due to the way fitting works, just due to the way like the slot layout is. You need to really bling hard. You need to really put a lot of ISK into a Cerberus to make it perform good, and when you've got that level of performance, then you're already at like T6. So it's hard to get like enough for T4 but still keep it cheap. If you're blinging the whole way pretty much. It's a bit complicated, but it's just the way it works. It's hard to use a Cerberus for T4 for cheap, at least I find it to be, and I find the Onyx to be a lot easier because Onyx has a lot more tank naturally than Cerberus, so I'm sort of able to get by with doing the T4s. Cerberuses have a lot more DPS, but it's alright in T4s. The reason I wanted to test out the Onyx right here is because I'm going to use an Onyx fit. It's the same as the one I used for T4 Darks. However, it is using, instead of a second web, I'm going to be using a Multispectrum shield hardener. And the reason is because I'm thinking that if I'm going to make a line of ships for T0 to T6, say I've already got a ship for like T4, I've got this Onyx for T4, then I would probably, because that T4 Onyx that I've been using uses no implants. I'm thinking that if I like sort of accumulate the high-grade Hydra implants that I would use for a T6 Cerberus, I want to see if it works well with just one web, because this will be a lot tankier and we'll have one web. I want to see if we're able to apply decently with high-grade Hydras and just this one web. Maybe we wouldn't even need that. Maybe we could get by with no web. I want to see how well it applies in the T4 Dark. So we're going to be using then a high-grade Hydra set. And the reason is like, okay, yeah, I said before that I want to have a cheap ship. What I'm thinking here is that like I've already got this Onyx and I'm doing T4s, but say I'm working my way towards like T5, T6 Cerberus. And a big part of that is to accumulate a high-grade Hydra implant set. And I'm trying to put myself as if I had accumulated this high-grade Hydra implant set, and I still want to do T4s, and I maybe want to do a bit of a safe style of Onyx. So instead of that Webifier, I'm using a Multispectrum, which is going to make me a lot tankier, a lot more chill. It'll make me want to risk my implants in the Abyss, and I just want to see if we're able to apply decently with this Webifier right here. It's pretty much just that. I want to see the application. So we're going to buy, first of all, some high-grade Hydra implants. These in. I think we actually have got implants in. Yeah, we've got Asclepions in here. We don't need these. We'll plug these in right here. I'll also buy some missile application implants because I probably would have that for high-grade Hydra pod. Get the heavy assault missiles, guided missile precision, target navigation precision, and maybe rapid launch could be good. So I'll put this Zainou. Plug in. Let's go. Make sure we have the filaments. Raging. No filaments right here. Raging Dark. Okay, we've got Raging Dark over here. Because Hydra implants really make your application so good. And a fellow YouTuber who makes really good Abyss fits, Gustav Manfred, he uses T6 Cerberus with Hydra implants, and he doesn't have any kind of web. He just relies on the Hydra implants. So I think we should be alright with this web right here, but I just want to see how it feels. See if it feels good, see if it feels bad. I'm not using as like, blinged out modules as his Cerberus is using, so it's not going to be as powerful in that regard. So we've got a decent amount of DPS. Hopefully it'll just be a steamroll. Because like I'm thinking that, okay, say I have really expensive implants, it would be nice to then have a bit more tankier ship just in case I were to ever need that. Okay, so I don't have any risk of dying with a really expensive pod. Let's go. What kind of... we've got Caldari Navy maybe? Oh, we've got Scourge Rage. Scourge Rage. See if we can apply to these entanglers over here. I wonder if we can apply to these entanglers. 1.17k. Oh, is that volley? Okay, so it's not full damage right here. I don't think it's full damage at least. Yeah, we're not getting full damage. Let's see. 1.1k. 1.14. Yeah, it's not good damage right here. I want to use the Caldari Navy. That'll be a lot better in terms of application, I think. Maybe it won't do as good as 1.1k, we'll see. 600 DPS for damage per shot. 700 now. Okay, we're doing a lot less damage. Okay, now we're doing decent damage. It's a bit random, I'm not sure. Okay, it gets some 1.16. Could also be that maybe we've got a default automatic suppressor right here that's making everything a little bit more difficult. But I just feel that the application is still alright. It's not that bad. Oh yeah, we've got some confusers as well we should take care of. We can actually skip the cache since we're in the test server. On Tranquility, I don't have any high-grade Hydra pod. Go for this over here. I feel like we're doing less damage actually with the Caldari Navy. Because we were getting 1k volleys before. Go Scourge Rage. Don't need to Webify the cache to make loot extraction maybe a bit more difficult. We've got a really great resist in this ship. This ship has so good resistance. Yeah, it seems like we're doing more damage for some reason with the Fury. I'm not sure why. Doesn't make much sense to me, but that's the way it is. It feels like we're doing a lot of applications being missed, but I guess a little bit of the application of Caldari Navy is being missed, and the extra DPS is sort of making up for it with the heavy assault missiles. Or maybe it could just be a bit random that maybe the default automatic suppressor is just shooting stuff down, and that it's less being DPS is being shot down when you're using Fury. So maybe we are getting perfect application, just that a bit is being shot down. I'm not really sure how the default automatic suppressor works. We'll see. But it feels fast at least. It feels pretty fast. Keeper range 500 over here. And we could actually bump this guy towards the transfer conduit. That's something better we could do. Yeah, we're getting perfect application now. I think it could be that the default automatic suppressor was causing problems. We'll see, we'll see. Because we've not got any default automatic suppressor. Now we're doing full application because we've got a battleship over here. We can push Charybdis to the gate. Tank is a dream. Absolutely no damage really. Got how much shield boosting capability? 79 HP per second, but what is our average? Just like 80 almost? 70, 80? Almost like so good resist. Hardly taking any damage just because the resist just reduce everything by such a big degree. Charybdis Tyrannos hits, oh whatever, 300 damage. And then because we've got really good resists, we also get like passive recharge is 9 HP per second, but that shield, that recharge adds up because of their good resists. Maybe it could be like almost 30-40 HP extra per second. I mean, it's a good 10% extra shield recharge essentially, which you won't have when you're using armor-based ships. Okay, we'll make our way towards the transfer conduit now. It's really far away. Okay, let's get to the next room. A bunch of cruisers. Let's see how the applicability is here. Is that a default automatic suppressor? No, it's a tracking pylon. This will be interesting to see the application over here. Probably we'll go for Sentinel first. Don't want to have a bunch of newts on us. I mean, we don't need to use the shield booster, as long as our shields are pretty stable. Okay, 697 damage, and this guy has 60% resists. So we're getting perfect application, alright. Yeah, look at that perfect application. Really great to see. Or near perfect application. It's like the high-grade Hydra is actually making a big difference because this feels much quicker than the dual web variant with no implants. Because when I'm using the dual web variant with no implants, I have to often use Caldari Navy just because of application issues. I wonder if you could do a similar thing with the Cerberus, where you have like a high-grade Hydra and a cheap ship, cheap fit, and then you're able to do good damage. Because if you have high-grade Hydras, you probably need like less of one Webifier, maybe even no Webifier, and you're still able to have a decent tank. I think just the Onyx offers really good flexibility because it's got so good natural resists. Now we're not doing so good application. Not really sure why. We're only getting 400 volley over here. Bit strange. Why are we not doing full application now, where we were before? Got some decent volleys right there. 1.5k though. And we're not even using web on that FE Altis. Oh, we've got Tachyon Cloud over here. That's not nice. Let's move up maybe. Webify a bit. Move up. I'm using hold down Q and then double clicking like this if you're wondering how I'm doing that kind of function. But this makes a really big difference going from Rage or from Caldari Navy to Rage. Makes this feel so much quicker. Well, this guy are getting perfect application too, so it's alright. Easy, easy. Yeah, this is surpassing my expectations. It's going so smoothly. I thought we would maybe have some issues with the application right here, but I mean, there is some issues. It's not like always perfect, but it's still pretty decent, and it feels a lot faster than the unusual T4 Dark running. I've got a bunch of rogue drone battle cruisers right here. Hopefully we can get full application on them. What is that explosive resist? 79%. We'll go for the blast then. Blast grip is the explosive rogue drone battle cruiser. Orbit him at 10 kilometers. Oh, he's hardly doing any damage. We're getting hardly any damage done to him. Well, his resists 70%, but we shouldn't be getting this low damage. I think it might be better to go with Caldari Navy on him. Maybe not. Now that his speed is reduced, we're doing more damage. Might be better with Caldari Navy. Still though, I think the volleys are still better than Caldari Navy. Because we had 1.1k at once. I think that's a bit better than Caldari Navy. Perfect application. I think Caldari Navy perfect application was 1200, so okay, almost 1200, which was the perfect application volley for Caldari Navy. And that 1100, I'm guessing that it was in their structure, which is 0% resist. Orbit 10 kilometers. No damage whatsoever, because they naturally have very short range, these rogue drone battle cruisers, and then you got the dark side on top of it. It's not going to be a good time for them. Might be an option to try Cerberus actually. It's cheap and it is utilizing high grade Hydras, so that it could sort of be a thing that you use in between before you get to a high level Abyss, maybe? Perhaps it could be an option. It's a bit difficult because this thing has really very low power grid, limited slot layout, quite a difficult time to get it to fit everything. Unless you're blinging hard, because then you can go with like Caldari Navy heavy assault missiles that have very little power grid, but they're very expensive. Okay, we'll take out these field viewers over here. They should be really easy. Keep a range 500. There we go. Let's get out of here. So I'm pretty happy about that. Felt like the high grade Hydras really buffer our Onyx, even though we're only using one web now compared to before we had two webs. It feels a lot better in terms of applicability compared to one web. Plus, on top of that, we're a lot tankier because we're using two multi-spectrums instead of one. So definitely, if you've got like a high grade Hydra pod lying around and you want to do some T4 Darks, I feel like it could be a very good option to just, okay, you want to do some chill, relaxing, ISK making activity, you could go for a T4 Dark Onyx like I've got right now. So probably a bit more testing would be needed to make sure it's good, but I mean, I felt like I got a good idea of like the ships and like a general feeling I got. Like for example, sleeper cruisers here compared to before, it felt better here, like compared to the dual web fit I used before with no high grade Hydras. With one web and high grade Hydras, those cruisers felt faster. So I'm pretty happy, satisfied with the results. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.